Welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Danny Cannell. That's Tom Fornelli. That's Bud Elliott. I'm Chip Patterson coming to you live at youtube.com/cover3 and on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for hanging out, everybody that's watching live. Smash the subscribe, smash the likes. Let's get those likes up. Y'all are hanging out. We appreciate you doing that. Week 1 on deck. Week 1 locks coming up. We've been waiting for so long. It's a 5-day marathon, and we sprint the whole way. That's how we do it here on the Cover 3 podcast. But we begin every single Thursday with a review of the week that was. We did have a locks episode for week 0, and oh, God.
Should we have?
Oh, no.
Should we have done it? Okay.
No,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have.
Should we have is a great question. Bud Elliott goes 2-3 on the week. He's takes an L on the USC first half minus 17.5. Also on the Vanderbilt first half minus 9.5. Picks up a win, a beautiful win with that Navy first quarter team total under 0.5. Navy shut out in that first quarter. And when did they get the field goal? Was it second half, right?
It was a sad field goal.
It was garbage time. I had stopped watching.
Yeah, garbage time field goal for Navy. That never a doubt there. Then Hawaii Vanderbilt over 55. That's also a winner. And then took an L on Louisiana Tech minus 6.5. We remember FIU got out to an early lead. Louisiana Tech needing to storm back to be able to avoid a bad home loss. Again, 2-3 on the week, Bud. Notes, corrections. What do we think?
I would bet La Tech. I know you guys hate when I do this. I would bet La Tech again. FIU had one decent drive, and they popped a 67-yarder on a 3rd and 1, like when La Tech was basically playing goal line defense. The other one I lost, like USC, clearly just I didn't take some of the defensive guys they had out seriously enough, and they allowed 2 scores in the first half. And you're not going to cover 17.5 if you give up 14 in the half, unless you're dropping a 31 bomb. So. Bad handicapping by me on that one. Again, FIU had like a 23% success rate for the game. I would lay La Tech again and laugh. Honestly, like that was. Oh, and Vandy, we got to play a little more defense there.
Or maybe take Hawaii a little more seriously if you want to talk about corrections.
This is true.
This is it's a different Warriors team they got. Okay. I took an L with New Mexico State. I got a win with Jacksonville State plus 1.5. Never in doubt. Thank you, Dana Dimmel. First half, USC is a loss. First half, Vanderbilt is a loss. Vanderbilt team total over 37.5 is a loss. And then, look, the saddest play. This is a very sad slate for me. But when Curtis Rourke left the game, and then the drop off to his backup was, as we mentioned in the reaction podcast, massive. That one was never going to come back. So 1-5, baby, right where we finished last season. So here we go. This is time to grind.
No, you got one right this time, so you're doing better than the end of last season.
That's true. It was 2-7, 0-9, 0-9, going from 10 games above 500 on November 13th to way, way under 500 to close the year with a 2-25 record over 3 weeks. Whew. Danny, got the win on Jacksonville State. Let's go, Rich Rod. You knew they were never going to lose that. In New Mexico State, a loss. USC first half with the loss. Vanderbilt full game, minus 17.5 with the loss. And then the Navy Notre Dame first half under 27. That one was kind of a backbreaker right there, especially with that late Notre Dame touchdown right before halftime. What are our adjustments going into the next week?
I mean, I am like a young quarterback who's thrown 3 picks, one of them a pick 6, deer in the headlights. You need to just get him some, like a screen pass, an easy completion to kind of build up the confidence again. I got to find it somewhere. The Navy one was the Navy Notre Dame was a backbreaker because I thought Notre Dame could manhandle them in the first half. I didn't think it would be by that much. Like I thought 21-0, 21-3 for them to do what they did was pretty phenomenal. I have noticed something though. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. I'm just letting it hang out. Like if I have a pick and a team burns me, I'm just gonna rip them. I don't know if you guys saw us when we were on on CBS Network, and USC's first half bet did not cash for me. I was ripping them way more than I would have normally because I was so irritated that the defense didn't show up because the offense was doing their part, but the defense, some trash scores early. They didn't look focused. I was like, How can they not come out of the gate playing with some urgency? I was letting them have it. I was ready to fire Alex Grinch. So you might notice a trend when I'm on the airwaves this year.
We'll be on Friday night. Are you up in New York already?
Tonight. I'm in tonight. NC State,
Okay.
UConn tonight.
Let's go. All right, Tom, 3-3 on the week. The wins, Jacksonville State. Then now you got out on an island, and I hope people followed you. Notre Dame -20.5, never in doubt. San Jose State +32. You got the cash in the middle of the reaction pod. And then taking the loss on New Mexico State -6, loss on Vanderbilt full game, loss on the FIU Louisiana Tech over 58.5. What led you to such glorious pastures of being 500?
Just trusting my instincts. No, the only game I really feel awful about was the over 58.5 in the FIU Louisiana Tech game. That started on track pretty well, but both those offenses kind of stunk as the night went on. So that never really had a prayer. The only surprise, honestly, like I was somewhat surprised by Vandy not being able to dominate on the line of scrimmage, but I think that, like you said, Chip, that could be more Hawaii than anything. But like UMass was the only team that really caught me off guard last week. That was a much better team than I anticipated seeing. So that's kind of caused me to reconsider things going forward with the Minutemen.
Ooh, and the Minutemen are on the board in a spot where you might want to get those points. Who will get there? We'll see. Gentlemen, are y'all ready? We're going to flush that. Flush it. Y'all ready to lock it up?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Since 2005, the under in games between service academies is 40-9-1.
Give me an over in this one as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
I was a sicko last week. Y'all were watching videos. I was live betting the hell out of UL in Kentucky.
My blue plate special 5-star locks are coming.
5-star master lock. Lock it up. These locks.
I'm living and dying every point, every coverage.
For those of you that are new here, thank you very much for joining us. Those of you who've been with us for years, you know the drill. We're going to start with the early bird games, the ones that are going to be coming up on Thursday and Friday. Then we'll hit some of the headliners and then fill out the rest of our card. So 11 games here on this Thursday, starting with Elon, Wake Forest, Kent State, UCF, all the way to the end of the night with Arizona State and Southern Utah. So who's got any locks for Thursday night?
I have one.
I do too. Got one.
It's the game Danny's covering.
Same.
Tonight.
Same.
NC State -14. Just like UConn last year was a very nice story. It won 6 games, went bowling. It came out of nowhere. Its expected wins was about 4.7. So it won 1.3 more times than it was supposed to. I think they won a couple games where, according to Connolly's win expectancy, they had a less than 30% chance of winning the game. I think one, they had a less than 10% chance of winning the game, and they ended up getting the win. NC State is much better than this team on both lines. Brennan Armstrong, reunited with Robert and I think has a chance to, again, be like what we saw when they were together at Virginia 2 seasons ago when he was throwing for like 4,400 yards and 30-some-odd touchdowns. Not the team we saw last year. He was stuck behind a papier-mâché offensive line at Virginia with a stodgy, slow offense. I just think this one gets out of hand quick. I know UConn's got returning experience. I know that they're pretty high on their QB. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think they have enough dudes to compete with the Wolfpack tonight. So Wolfpack -14.
Danny?
They got Notre Dame on deck.
Thing.
What?
Let the children sing. A lot of the same reasons. There's a part of me that's like, are we gonna be saying, what's the ACC doing scheduling this game on the road early? But they had that scare last year. I agree. Brendan Armstrong brings a wealth of experience. He brings good play, but he had like an attitude about him. There was just a confidence about him. He is a hired gun to come in there and sling it around, and I think he's going to do that. I think they put up a ton of points, and I'm with you. I think UConn, it was a nice season last year, but if you look at the quality of wins, they weren't exactly that impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Wolfpack as well, lay the 14.
Latifa.
Boom.
All right, I'm taking this, and then I'll basically just give you guys the reasons why I'm like a little scared to take it, I guess. But Agreed on talent. I think it's overall certainly something that should be played. There's a little bit of concern I have because UConn's new quarterback played for this OC when he was the OC, I believe, at Maine. So that concerns me a little bit. I know that UConn has had problems at guard specifically, so like I'm kind of curious to see how those guys look for them. But still, I think on talent, you have to take this. Concepcion, the true freshman for NC State's really had a good camp at receiver. I love NC State's corners. I mean, do you really feel comfortable if you're up 20 entering the fourth quarter with Notre Dame on deck? Like, does NC State, are they able to run the ball, control the game, and salt this thing away? I think so, but I don't know so. I will lay it though and go Latifa with you guys.
Early night for DK. He'll have all his points made by the end of the third quarter.
I kind of like the over too because of what you're talking about, Bud. But I'm going to stay away from that one.
Anai, when he was the OC at Syracuse last year, did absolutely eat UConn's lunch, by the way.
All right. So I could pivot just for the, infinity purposes, right?
Oh, you son of a.
But I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm going to stick with the pick that I had going into it. It is reckless. It is a reckless thing to do to actually believe what head coaches tell you in the offseason. Like, I would not recommend it, but it's exactly what I'm going to do. Because Dave Doran has said, I have been wanting to evolve. I've been wanting to change up our offense. And with Tim Beck leaving to take the Coastal Carolina job, he gave us an opportunity to do that. And clearly with the hire of Robert Anai, you are indicating we'd like to get a little bit more creative. We would like to evolve this offense from where it was previously. So the pick I'm making, oh, buddy, NC State, team total over 30.5. You don't hire Robert Anai, and Robert Anai doesn't put together a game plan for this spot to be like, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go up and win 24-14 or even like 24-10, which would get y'all a push there. No, you've got to come out guns blazing, getting your team into a rhythm. Being conservative is not going to be a way to get ready for Notre Dame. Like, I'm not necessarily worried about, showing something as much as I am getting that offense confident in what they want to do. Any number with a 2 beside it is going to feel disappointing. So let's go 30.5 NC State team total over.
I thought you were going to take UConn the way you were.
I know for a second there. I thought so too.
Vibe killer lock when Infinity was right there. I don't know, man. I don't want to be the cooler to the Infinity, right?
I mean, it's essentially the same pick. So it's not an Infinity, but it's if NC State gets over the 30.5, they should cover this.
They should be covering.
Okay, so what are the numbers in which they don't? Like, it's 30.5.
24.
I mean, Chip's not betting this unless he thinks NC State's scoring 38, I would assume. Right.
I think that you're going to be getting
Joey Stephen coming through.
29.5 at DraftKings. Put it on the board.
Let's go. I'll take it at 29.5 for sure. I was thinking that 28 isn't enough. That if you're going to make a big to-do of going to get Brennan Armstrong and retooling this offense, 28's not going to cut it. And so I'll take Infinity adjacent. That's an appropriate.
Adjacent. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm not going to break decorum here. That was the pick that was on the board. That's the one we're going to stick with right now. All right. Anything else from Thursday night?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and go with it. The Florida-Utah game, I'll take the under 44. I do think it's going to be like, I kind of lean towards Florida. I liked it a whole lot better when it was over a touchdown, but I think no matter what way you look at it, I think you could see an uglier, lower scoring game. Both teams trying to establish the ground game. Quarterback's a little bit shaky. Graham Mertz, checking it down somewhat like you saw in the spring game. Some sacks, like just slow, sputtering game. I like the under.
Yeah, I got it earlier in the week, but with all the Cam Rising stuff, the number's been dropping a little bit. So
yeah,
I'm staying away from it for the lock spot.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. This game was 29-26 when it had Anthony Richardson and Cam Rising.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be with Bryson Barnes and Graham Mertz?
I do have a little bit of under in this game from the summer. See, hey, no, at YouTube only. You guys hit like and subscribe.
Oh, it's great.
But yeah, I like that the principle behind that pick, Danny. I think that one should be coming home to roost for you. All right, anything else from Thursday night? I got no clue what to do with Minnesota and Nebraska. I'm gonna have to pick it on CBS Sports HQ here in the 1 o'clock hour, and I'm literally gonna be pulling out some like. I tell you what, Nebraska's 0-6 against the spread in its last 6 season openers, which is a true fact. I'm not making it up, but
the research packet is good because, like, if you have to talk about these all the time, Chip, like, it's good to have stuff like that because people like to hear it. But like, it also means you don't have to go find it yourself. It's in the packet, which is great.
Well, and it is truly not an entertaining or thing. Like, I don't know, we'll find out. Minnesota, Nebraska. What do you think, Chip? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm excited about it. We'll see. Okay, so that's most of Thursday. What about when we get into Friday? A little bit of a lighter slate on Friday. 6 games on deck. It includes the battle for Miami with the Hurricanes against the Redhawks. It includes the ACC opener for Jeff Brom as Louisville and Georgia Tech are going to be playing in the Big Body Benz. And it includes Timmy Chang at home with Stanford in town. The man who has declared that he knows all the point spreads going into the game. They're a 3.5-point underdog. Anything on Friday night for the board?
I don't have a pick for any of these games, but I do want to give a shout out to a man I was paired up playing golf with the other day named Chip. Sorry, Chip, I was cheating on you with another Chip.
It's okay.
Who is a Miami of Ohio grad, a Miami of Ohio fan, and listens to the Wrong College Football podcast. And I have since corrected him that the Cover 3 podcast is the one that he needs to be listening to. So, Chip, I hope you're listening or watching live.
Yeah, or do both. Download, subscribe, watch live, hit the likes. That's what we appreciate. All right, anything else for Friday?
God, I want to take Stanford, but I'm not going to. I think there's a massive overreaction to Hawaii's performance. I get it's at home, but I'll stay away from it.
I mean,
I just think it's a little too easy with all the people coming in on Hawaii saying, oh, they played great against Vanderbilt. Watch what they do against Stanford. I just think that's a massive overreaction.
That line opened way back when at 10.5, and it's down to 3.
What
7-point adjustment? Yo. Are you going for it, bud?
No, I mean, there's like 1 3.5 out there, and it's minus 125, which I know we said is kind of on like that's like the most we'd want to really do on the show. Obviously, no, I don't know what to make of Stanford. I'm kind of really I look at it, and on my board there's probably 30 or 40 teams that I'm just like legitimately wrong about. There's probably 70 that I feel pretty good about my evaluation of. And then there's 10 that I just don't know what the hell to think about them. And Central Michigan is one. I have no idea what to make of those guys. Like last year, they were basically running like, Wildcat for the second half of the season with Emmanuel. They're not a program that's like super well covered. I'm not saying if you cover it poorly, if you do cover it, but like, I don't find the coverage frequently. I have no idea what to do with this game. And it's weird. Usually I'm bemoaning the loss of small school journalism, I guess.
I'm not locking it up, but I do feel vibe-wise, this is like a game Michigan State has to blow somebody out in just to set the tone for the year.
Yep. When your starting quarterback and best wide receiver leave after the conclusion of spring practice, you better be really good about your position there. All right, Thursday and Friday in the books. That means we're going to turn the page to Saturday and beyond. So coming up on the other side, we'll start with Colorado, TCU, Danny's latest beef, Ohio State, Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, LSU, and Florida State, and more. Next. Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. Thanks to everybody who's watching live and saw that great promo. Again, our guy DK going to be in studio with CBS Sports Network for NC State and UConn. You can see it on CBS Sports Network a Thursday at 7:30. 30. Okay, let's begin our Saturday look at the big headliner games with the beginning of the Coach Prime era at Colorado. The Buffs are on the road to take on TCU, the Horned Frogs, the reigning national runner-up, 20.5-point favorites, over under of 63.5. And Danny, do we need to address it? I think we've got the graphic here.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, because we talked about this the other day on the pod that Deion's comments about Florida State not even acknowledging, wouldn't even say the word "null" out of his mouth, and he was just deflecting and would not acknowledge it. Did say, I'm not a null because I got my degree from HBCU, and we were perplexed by it, and I tweeted about it. And and then this morning got a little reply from Coach Prime that I'm trying to decipher. I'm still trying to make sense of what exactly he's talking about. He's not lacking confidence. We knew that. I didn't expect anything else, and I wouldn't argue with him on that one. And I don't think I said anything about his play on the field. It was about the way he, took this stance. Stay out of grown folks' business. You have no idea what is what. The truth hurts, my man. I got time. Can you guys help me with that? What is the grown folks' business that I have no idea about?
I think he's calling the Cover 3 podcast child's play. I think he's trying to make himself an enemy of the podcast right now by saying that what we do is just kiddie pool stuff. That he's in the deep end over there at Colorado at the power conference level.
I think he is in the deep end. I think he's pretty salty he didn't get the Florida State job.
So then say it. Then that's my point. It's you are not one to mince words. Why take this cute road? Oh, I'm not going to mention it. Just say it then. Say you're mad. Say you're pissed off that you didn't get the job. I'm okay with that.
Danny,
that seems to me what he's about.
It's because we got to do a little bit of this, right? We got to turn the page on this calendar, right? And we're going to go from talking season to game playing season, right?
Yep.
And the game's got to be played. So, it's time. I should probably show the camera here. Dude, I think that's why.
Yeah.
So anybody going to get a lock right here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. TCU minus 20.5, right?
Absolutely.
Go up for our boy. Let's go.
That all day long.
Yeah. All right. So 2 on it. All right. Anybody else getting on it?
Oh, hell yeah. You're not coming at my co-host and not expecting me to jump in the fight with him.
Oh, I love it. He's got my back.
All right. Bud?
There's so many unknowns on this. Chip, are you going to do it?
Yeah. I'm already in. That's why we got Latifah.
That's right. Look, I'm just not convinced that Colorado's starters are that bad.
Wow.
I think Colorado's depth is probably atrocious. And you watch some of these practice clips, and a lot of these guys, I'm like, that's what it looks like when a 1-11 team takes 68 transfers. Get a couple good ones, a couple guys. I'm like, okay, you're rolling with that. I'll also note Joe Gillespie. So Colorado, as you guys know, is running the veer and shoot. Hired Sean Lewis from Kent State. We had Sean Lewis on the show last year. High tempo, all that stuff. Do you know who has seen this offense every day in practice but one since 2005? Sorry, I slipped into the Fornelli voice there.
Since 2005, Joe Gillespie has faced the veer and shoot in practice every day.
Literally. Do you know who Art Briles hired to be his DC at Stephenville High School? Joe Gillespie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Montgomery took with him from Baylor to go be the DC at Tulsa? Who obviously Montgomery continued to run that for a good long time at Tulsa. Joe Gillespie. Now, last year, Joe got a break. He didn't have to face this offense, right? So, it's now he is, because Kendall got hired at TCU.
Well, sounds like you should take TCU minus 20.5 then.
Let's pile on and do it.
There we go.
Infinity.
Unders in the whoop, wrong one.
All right, fine. I'll do it.
The world is about to feel something that they never felt before.
To infinity and beyond.
Let y'all know.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Can't be coming at Danny like that.
Oh, come
No.
on, Danny.
That's
come
on.
on.
that's
Quarterback.
vibes
Come
and
on,
chip
Prime.
analytics. And
I am him. Let's go.
Again, as a former
Yeah, can we clip I am him? I gotta get that one. And when they cover, let's get Danny on there. All right.
as a former high school offensive lineman, I can't let you take a cheap shot at my QB and not expect to
Right.
get smacked upside the head afterward.
Come on.
Can we supercut it with all the clips of Dion bragging about Florida State being DBU and like telling kids to go to Florida State?
Right?
The non-null. Yeah.
Uh,
I think
then-
he might do well there, but
All right, Colorado.
yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Not this year, but yeah.
Then also on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Big Ten on CBS. Ohio State at Indiana. Buckeyes are going to have Kyle McCord as their QB1. We are expecting to see Devin Brown as well. Ohio State is a 30-point favorite in the game, over under of 59. Who you can watch it on CBS, also on Paramount Plus. Anybody getting in on this one? Lay them. All of them. 100%. Couple spots on this slate where I'm going to be looking at the fact that when you go from your first quarterback to your second quarterback, the game plan is not to see that quarterback hand the ball off. Because if you're going to put Devin Brown in the game and see what he's all about, then you've got to get him out there and have him throw into good wide receivers. Now, granted, the Ohio State wide receiver room still really, really good all the way down to like the 6th string. But I think that this is an offense that's going to stay aggressive in the transition from Kyle McCord to Devin Brown. Also, Ohio State's defense against lesser competition was clamps last year. If your name was not Michigan, Penn State, or Georgia, we're talking like 10 points, 14 points, 10 points, 10 points, 14 points, 20. Like they absolutely squeezed the life out of lesser competition. Indiana qualifies certainly as lesser competition. The way that Ohio State has been beating Indiana recently has been merciless. I think last year was like 56-14.
Mhm.
I just think that when you've got a quarterback who even the backup comes in and you want to be still a little bit more aggressive, the way that this Buckeyes team plays against teams that are not at the very top of the schedule, it is really setting up for a win that's going to be closer to a 40-point win than a 30-point win. So give me Ohio State in the big number.
Indiana has not beaten Ohio State since 1988. It's been 27 straight wins for the Buckeyes since. My plan of attack for this one, as I will be live blogging it, I just want to see what's going on with McCord and Brown, and if Ohio State is truly making a competition of this one and giving them equal shots and like maybe alternating series or quarter, whatever they're doing. I'm going to bet the over in the second half if that's the case, because I do think they'll still be going all out in the second half even after they've built up a big lead.
Shout out to the day ones out there reminding me that Ohio State scores 40 points when they get off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had that quote put in a locker a little bit, a couple times, but we'll see. We'll see if they're back to scoring 40 off the bus. I really only need them to score like 38 because I'll tell you what, Indiana ain't scoring more than 7. So I like the Buckeyes minus the number.
There's a couple ways I want to go with this.
Is it because Tom Allen is keeping his starting kicker under wraps?
That is part of it.
Yeah, the kicker competition is bleeding into game day. I'll let you know 10 minutes before.
Come
on,
bud. You know what? I'm going to believe in Ohio State's defense. Under 59.5.
Ooh. Oh, we've got a narrow window where you and I can both.
Yeah, I know it's not a fight. Go ahead and give me the under. I know it's dangerous to bet under in Ohio State games with all the receivers. And I know the narrative that they'll probably be throwing the ball quite a bit in the second half too, but I think Ohio State's defense might be much improved. So go ahead and give me the under here.
All right. Then in prime time on Saturday, we're going to go on to North Carolina and South Carolina, the game in Charlotte, the Dukes Mayo Kickoff Classic. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, on ABC. And North Carolina still a 2.5-point favorite, over under of 64.5. Anybody got a lock here?
South Carolina plus 2.5.
All right.
Sorry, Chip. I just don't believe in your beloved Tar Heels as much as the rest of the world seems to. I don't think that defense has improved in any manner. And South Carolina has won 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two, including 2 years ago when it won by 17 points.
Oh, put it on them in this building in the bowl game.
Mm-hmm. So I just think that there's a very decent chance they might not finish with a better record than North Carolina this year because of the conferences they play in. But I think South Carolina is at very least the same level of team as North Carolina is. So if I'm getting 2.5 points with the Gamecocks, I'm going to take them.
We do we have a fight last week?
You and I? No.
I don't think anybody did we?
No.
We got one this week.
Yes.
Fight.
I got an old text from my buddy, Mac Brown. I texted him. I said, hey, you know how things going? Good luck this season. He said, I think we got a pretty good team. I think we got a chance to be pretty good. Their backfield, I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit more. I don't think they're going to have to rely on Drake May. The defense, of course, remains the big question mark. Are they going to be one of the worst in the country and the worst in the ACC again? Or are they going to get just marginally better? That's all I need from them if they do. And I think it was interesting. Chip told us that, Chip Lindsey, the new coordinator, is coming in and he's kind of taken some concepts, some terminology. So I think they're going to try to make that transition as smooth as possible. With Phil Longo gone, give me Drake May, man. I think the Spencer Rattler roller coaster ride is too much in this game.
See, I know you're full of it when you say Mac Brown texted you. He sent a telegram. Come on now.
Mac can text.
That's right. He's hip.
Yeah.
He's hip.
You seen those shoes? Come on. Mac's got good texting skills. I'm gonna stay out of this one. The South Carolina loves to play UNC and NC State. Like, kind of gets up for it. They get to flex their muscles in a way that doesn't always end up great from North Carolina and South Carolina. North Carolina has the way, way, way better quarterback. And, if you think it's going to, what is this? If you say spread and total, it's going to come down to it. This is a 34-31 game. And who do you trust at the end of the game? Spencer Rattler or Drake May? I trust Drake May more. Then Juice Wells last year had about 960 some odd receiving yards. He was all SEC pick from the coaches. He's South Carolina wide receiver. Of those 900 some odd yards, 555 were after the catch. So for a pass defense that has had trouble bringing down players in the open field, the idea that you've got a yak attack monster out there is a little bit concerning. I think North Carolina wins the game, but ultimately not a lock. That would just be trusting in Drake May.
That Tez Walker situation still not resolved, right?
Nope.
Okay.
You know what? Shout out to former Justice Bob Orr. He was on the Ovius and Giglio podcast. He was like, just play him.
That's what we said about all these steals. Just play them.
Yeah.
Deal with it later.
Yeah. All right. Before last big game before we hit the break and then get to our full cards. It is Sunday night's showdown. LSU, Florida State in Orlando, Camping World Stadium. LSU still sitting there at 2.5, over under of around 56. Anybody got a lock?
You know it.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, come on. Give me Florida State 2.5 all day long.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I've got one.
Whoa. Okay. All right. So
go with the fight first.
First, we're going to go with the fight.
Fight.
Tom.
I mean, I'm defending Danny against Dion, and now I'm fighting him in two separate games here. I like LSU better this year. And I also do think that Florida State, with a lot of imported talent through the transfer portal, like early in the season, you might see a little more rustiness from a team that's not quite used to playing together just yet, whereas LSU's got a lot of returning experience. I don't think either team is capable of blowing the other one out, so this is going to be a sweat the entire time, but I think LSU gets the win, so I'll lay short of a field goal.
Can I get 3? Not that I'm begging for
I think so. Hold on. Let's find you a real 3 if there is one.
Bet Rivers.
Oh, it's a Sunday game. Yeah, bet Rivers, and it's only a minus 111. Yeah, we can get a 3.
And so now you're on, because we got a bar fight, right? You're on FSU. Danny's on FSU. Tom's on LSU, and he doesn't have the pool cue. He's just got knives. He's breaking out hunting knives for this LSU Florida State bar brawl. All right, so Bud, what's your read on it?
I would also like to add another bet on this game.
Yes, sure.
Florida State team total over 27.5.
Good number.
Yeah. Not juiced at all, by the way. It's actually slightly juiced to the under. So I would expect, based on what our readers did or what our listeners did to Navy last week, that's probably going to run out. Also, if you ask me, would I play at 28? I would. We talked about this on the show yesterday. I think you have multiple like top 100 picks on both sides at receiver. And I think you have a lot of guys who will be like 6'7" undrafted going pro in something other than sports type defensive backs on these squads. You got two very veteran quarterbacks. I think this game is played with some real tempo. On Nolecast, I took Florida State 38-34. So obviously I really like over 28 team total for the Noles.
And you would probably even full game over for the same reason.
No doubt. I mean, obviously, if you're picking 72, yeah, let's add it. Full game over. I'll put 3 picks on.
Bam.
Yeah.
3 ways.
What do I got here? 55.5
Yep.
is the best I'm seeing right now at BetChris.
That's a good number. Do you mind if I join you on that one?
Not at all.
All right.
So polite.
Yeah, you still got to ask. I just want to say we did a really good job with that Florida State LSU breakdown. We're going to be doing a lot of big game breakdowns through the season. They're not all going to be bangers, but that was a good one to set the standard, right? To really let them know the different ways we're picking apart the matchup. We'd only set like X amount of time for it, and very naturally it was like X plus 7. So I gotta say, good job, everybody. And we pat ourselves on the back. More big game breakdowns coming on Wednesday's episodes all throughout the season. All right, so we've already gotten through Thursday, Friday. We've gotten through some of the biggest games of the day, but our cards are not anywhere close to being done. So coming up on the other side, the rest of our week 1 locks. Next.
Driving into the stadium, seeing everybody tailgating, I get that ready to go feeling.
To walk through the fan section over there and see that many people excited about football, so I'm really looking forward to it.
You get away from football for a little bit and then you start missing it, you get that itch again.
For me, that first catch is everything. Once I get one catch, I'm in the zone.
Getting back to football.
It's been too long.
We can't wait.
Can't wait. We can't wait.
We can't wait.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, where we have a massive audience watching live right now on youtube.com/cover3. And so I would like to plead with you once again, hit that subscribe, hit that like, get a chance to be able to hang out with us live all the time. Last week, we had a little subscriber mailbag. It was a pop-up. We didn't tell anybody. It was only for the subscribers who could come in, hang out, ask questions. We answered them. So turn on the notifications, hit the subscribe, hit the like. We're going to be doing stuff like this all throughout the season. Okay, let's review what we've got so far. Bud is on. TCU -20.5, NC State -14.5, LSU, Florida State over 55.5, Florida State +3. Also, the Florida State team total over 27.5, Ohio State, Indiana under 59.5. Also on the Frogs, also on LSU, Florida State over 55.5. I've also got NC State team total over 29.5 and Ohio State -30. Danny is on TCU, naturally. Also NC State -14.5. Then Florida State +3. North Carolina -2.5. Florida, Utah under 44. Tom is on TCU -20.5. NC State -14.5. LSU -2.5. South Carolina +2.5. That's a lock infinity on TCU. That is a Queen Latifah UNITY on NC State -14.5. A lock fight, bar fight with Bud and Danny on Florida State, Tom on LSU. A lock fight on North Carolina, South Carolina, Tom, Danny. And a lock agreement, LSU, Florida State over 55.5. All right, Bud. No, Tom. Tom had the best record last week at 3-3. You've got the honors on the tee box.
Habit. Going to Bud first.
Put that back up, by the way, real quick.
What?
Can we put the standings back up real quick? Because I want to point this out. Was it who had the over in UConn?
Nobody had the over in UConn. I had the NC State team total over.
Oh, well, that's the over's getting hit right now. So Chip, that might be good news for you.
Well, there you go.
Sorry to derail the show.
It's okay. I mean, listen, I told y'all we move these lines. All right.
A couple of them do move. We definitely do not move all lines. Like I don't, but some of them will.
Oh no, it is way better for us to just claim that we're moving the line.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Right.
I really love watching our chat shopping lines for these games as we're discussing them. And like, no, we got movement here. It's down to 120 now.
Oh, we can get 2.5 at Bet Rivers.
Yeah. I love that.
All right. Yeah, we do. We love y'all so much. This is the most fun time of year. All right, Tom, where would you like to go?
Speaking of moving lines, a line that's not moving quite as much as I thought it would, although it has moved a little bit. I gave this out earlier in the week during my appearance on Pardon My Take. Shout out to those guys, and shout out to any new people who are now listening and watching this show who came from there. Welcome to the best college football podcast on earth. Texas Tech -14. I was able to get it personally while it was still -13.5. But this line, based on my estimation, and again, as Bud is well aware, your early season numbers can sometimes be a bit off. And I am not super high on Texas Tech as much as some people are about them going into the year, where they're, kind of look at them as maybe the next TCU that can win the Big 12. But I have them as about 3 touchdowns better than Wyoming, even in Wyoming in Laramie. So to get them at 2 touchdowns or shorter, this is my favorite play of the week by far. Give me the Red Raiders -14.
All right, so this has been getting bet all week by people I respect and then shoved back in their face. So somebody out there, maybe it's an algo or whatever, really loves Wyoming. I'm going to stick with my card, but I think you have the right side. It just, how many good quarterbacks does Wyoming face annually? Hainer tore him up last year. I don't know. Just somebody with a lot of money opposes you on this, and I don't know who it is, but like guys I respect certainly like this.
The Dutton Ranch.
Yeah, seriously.
Surprise! It's me.
Fight.
What?
Oh!
Fight.
And we have 14.5s out there?
That's really?
I think so. Let me check. I saw one earlier.
What's the rotation number on this? 91.
I just don't understand why.
No, 14. Oh, yeah, there's 114.5.
Yeah,
Chip, I think of it. Yeah.
I don't understand why a passing attack thinks it's really going to walk into War Memorial Stadium in Laramie and be able to just throw the ball around 45 times a game. Are you kidding me? You're on CBS. You are on CBS in primetime, America's most watched network, the network of stars. Shout out GP. This is going to be a spot where Craig Bowl has had all offseason, all fall camp to figure out how he's going to cook up a defensive attack that is going to stymie and frustrate what Zach Kittley and Texas Tech's offense wants to do. They're going to muck this game up. They're going to make it ugly. And while I don't have the requisite statistics that would categorize this for a wonder, come on. It's gonna be windy in Laramie. Don't put Wyoming on CBS on Saturday night and expect Texas Tech to make this an easy breezy, beautiful cover. No way. Let's go. Wyoming.
Cover girl references. Wow, we really dig deep on this one. I want to say, just for those listeners, some fun stats. All of last season, Chip and we only had 2 lock fights. So to get one out of the way in week 1, I don't know. I don't like the vibe that's setting for us during the season, but what I do like is that I won both of them, and I'll be 3-0 after this week.
I mean, I just can't believe you're stepping in the way of Wyoming. All right, Danny, what would you like to add to the card?
By the way, I think Jordan is very upset with us, with you specifically, Chip, because we walked through the marquee games and we just glossed right over Virginia, ACC, SEC, battle of the heavyweights. There in Nashville, right? That's the game's in Nashville.
That is a game in Nashville.
So it's a massive number, 27.5. I'm not going to touch that. I do think Tennessee is going to be able to put up a ton of points. I trust Josh Heupel. The Joe Milton era gets kicked off with a bang. But watch out for Tony Muskett, the wily FCS quarterback, local kid there from Virginia. Are we at a point where we can trust Tennessee's defense with backups in the second half where they can just pitch a shutout? because I think they're going to get theirs. I think late you get a touchdown or two from Virginia to push this game over the 55.5.
I mean, it's the person and the object, right? Tennessee's defense is the person and Virginia's offense is the object. Like, do you trust Tennessee's defense with a competent offense? No. But, like, do I trust my 4-year-old to walk around with, like, a teddy bear? Yeah. Lock agreement. Let's go. And there's a 27.5 out there. So I'm laying it with you. Guys, we may only have, like, 12 to 24 more games to bet against this staff. I'm taking every opportunity I have.
Wait, hold on.
Fill it in every week.
So Danny's on the over 55.5. You're on the over 55.5 too?
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I
thought Danny was laying it. I'm laying it.
No. He's over. If anything, Danny is, giving some faith that the Monmouth.
It just moved to 28. Did you see that? I just saw it. You got it at 27.5. He was there still.
Weird how that happened.
Sitting here just hammering it.
So to be clear, Bud, you're on Tennessee minus 27.5.
Yes, I am taking Tennessee. I'm going to lay it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna.
Bud just became Jordan's favorite host once again.
I will go. Man, this is a little bit of a deeper. This is a little early in the show here at 46 minutes to all of a sudden go deep, but let me make sure we've still got some 12s. I don't know if we know. You know what? 12, 11, 11.5, all dead numbers in college football. I think 11.5 or 11's where we're going to be sitting because that's going to be Jay Norvell and the Colorado State Rams putting an absolute scare into Washington State because Colorado State last year, we already talked about the smoldering heap of trash that Steve Adazio left in his wake, trying to just ruin a once proud program. Jay Norvell comes in, season starts off rough, get thrashed by Michigan. Then Washington State, beat you by about 30 points. But then they got into conference play, and then things started to click for this Colorado State team, even a little bit on the defensive side of the ball as well. They return a ton of production from that group. And I think that the team that Washington State's going to be looking at on tape from last year's matchup is nowhere close to the quality of team that has improved over the course of last season and into the offseason. I like Colorado State playing at home, knowing that they're going to be so much better than where they were last year in this matchup. I like Colorado State to be a little bit feisty and to maybe even put a scare into Washington State. Anything above 10 is green light go for me. So I'll go ahead and take the Rams plus the 11.
There's 11.5 at MGM.
11.5.
Oh, good. I'll take that. Yeah, I think Colorado State is a team that could be a little under, the market could be a little off on them for the first few weeks of the season. I expect this team to take a good step forward this year.
Yeah, good opportunity there. I like it. All right, Bud, let's go back to you. Where do you want to go?
All right. Well, we already did that one. We did that one. We did that one. How about some music?
Wait. Oh, okay. Yes.
Let's do it.
It's time for sicko mode. Let's go. I'm a little bit lower on some of the teams in the bottom of the Sun Belt. If things go wrong, they could be like UMass-UConn. That's kind of like sicko mode of a sicko mode.
I don't know what channel this game is on, and I am not going to lie to you and tell you that I'm going to be watching this game live, but I will watch it. I think what I will see when I watch Bowling Green roll in to Liberty, two teams that went bowling last year, and two teams that do have a tendency to play slow, two teams that I think potentially may exploit the clock rule. I've seen a lot of stuff out there about how this new clock rule is way, way bigger than anybody thought. I wanted on the record that I'm selling that idea for the most part. I think it needs to be more team specific. For instance, FIU did not run 28 plays less than average because it was taking advantage of the clock rule. It did so because it only had 4 first downs, right? Because it's terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the under 50 here in Bowling Green Liberty. At its core, I mean, look, I don't think Bowling Green's defense is quite as bad as people think it is, despite the loss of Carl Brooks. You got a brand new team there in Liberty. They don't have a ton of weapons on the outside that Hugh Freeze left them, from what I understand. just reading some of the practice stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the under 50. Is that sicko mode? Like I looked hard for a sicko mode this week.
No. This is not sicko mode. This is just like right there on your screen in the noon slate on Saturday. I will be watching it because it's on the CBS Sports Network.
Oh, it is. Oh, perfect. Okay,
Chick
cool.
Fernandez on the call.
Can I see it on the app?
So yeah,
Yes,
you can absolutely just log in with your cable provider. I was interested, and not to hijack this show with Liberty Bowling Green talk, but is the spread dropping significantly because of what you were saying with the personnel? Because this was one where when I looked at it, I was like, Liberty all day. But the movement made me at least realize I probably don't know what I don't know, and I just didn't have enough information to move confidently on it. So what makes this open at 13 and drop to 9?
Probably people just reading about what Liberty maybe thinks ahead, watching Chadwell and the coordinators' press conferences, trying to read the context clues. Look, man, there's been some weird stuff going on with the markets the last couple of days. Like basically, like every dog and under has just been getting shoved, and it's like people are applying like I think probably like a 10 or 12% modifier in order to, I don't know, maybe a little bit less, but like that, I think that's too much personally, but to each their own. I don't have to be right in every single game. I just got to be right on, more than 52.5. So that's my guess, Chip. It's probably some combination of maybe Liberty doesn't have great weapons and maybe, maybe the clock rule here with teams that can specifically exploit the clock rule and would want to.
Good call. Not a play for me, but very curious. I mean, Liberty in Cayusa. Don't forget, we got Conference USA midweek games in October. So get your numbers right, get your handicapping going, because when you want to make those Tuesday, Wednesday wagers and watch those games on CBS Sports Network, that's going to be the time to do it. How's everybody's card looking? We're
6 left plus our sprinkles.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6. Can I fit 6 on our new graphic? I did agree when we designed the graphic in the preseason to keep my 6 on the graphic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means you're going to have 14, but at the end of this.
All right.
You were like, I'm going to limit it to 10. And then...
I'm gonna limit it to 13 because I'm going to cross that one off. That is, yeah.
All right. Well, this one's pretty simple. I feel like no one's probably going to follow me on it. So let's get it out of the way. Alabama minus 39. We are continuing with the quarterback battle principle. The idea that you're just going to continue to stay aggressive because you want to see what not just one, but maybe even 2 and maybe even 3 different quarterbacks have. Also, I think Alabama's defense might be one of the best defenses in the country. And I definitely don't think that Middle's going to be able to get to double digits. And I definitely think that for an opener against a team like this, Nick Saban likes to put a 4 on the scoreboard. He likes to have that thing look like a 40 or a 50. I think this is going to be a great opportunity. Shout out to Sportsline Early Edges, Alan Bell. He pointed this out. Nick Saban's going to be chewing into Tommy Rees in like 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter while Alabama's up 50-3. Like this is just going to be every single detail is going to get hammered home, the intensity and aggressiveness, because with Texas on deck, you got to work everything out right now. So I'm going to take Alabama and I'm going to lay the big number. I wish that I'd been able to get something closer to the Ohio State, but very similar principles here. I think it's just a classic thrashing in both of these cases. So I will be unafraid of the big number.
I don't know, man. You're starting down 39-0. I don't know.
I know. Lock agreement.
Let's go. How many games?
Exact same reasoning as Chip, really. Just for Showtime, Bama really, really good on line of scrimmage.
I mean, there is going to be so difficult for Middle Tennessee to do anything against this team. It wouldn't surprise me if we also have like a 2015 scenario. Y'all remember when Alabama's defense was scoring more touchdowns than some FBS teams?
Yeah.
Like I think that we could have that was like Minka Fitzpatrick, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, like the fumble recoveries, pick sixes. I think that this defense could hit those sort of 2015 kind of levels this year and be a big reason why Alabama can compete for an SEC championship. All right, Tom.
All right, I don't have my own sicko mode music, but I'm going to go with the most sicko mode game of the week. Sunday afternoon on CBS, the whole nation will tune in to see Northwestern versus Rutgers in a battle of which team can actually score 10 points in a one football game. Will either of them do it? I don't know. And that's why I'm taking the under 39.5 in Northwestern Rutgers. These two teams last year, Rutgers scored 24 points in one game, scored 66 against Wagner. Didn't hit 24 in a single other game. Northwestern finished with fewer than 10 points in its final 4 games of the season last year. And based on the offseason, I don't know how much better things are going to be in 2023. This is just going to be a disgusting rock fight. There is no way I can look at this game and do anything but lock up the under. So give it to me.
I mean, this is just like, this is a true great display.
It's going to feel huge.
American college football. It's going to feel so big.
I think that's the right side, man. I do.
This is a 17-9 game.
I kind of want to lay it with Rutgers because I just think Northwestern's going to be a train wreck this year, but I got to see it first. But I think the train wreck is going to be this game in general. Like
no survivors.
They're just also close to each other. I think they're going to rally together. You know.
Yeah.
Well, early in the season, that's why I think you'll see their best fight. Like that's what concerns me.
Pre-game bear crawls.
Yeah, this. They have bonded together in ways that few can even wrap their minds around. But don't think about adding. If it's not on the card right now, don't put it.
No. I'm watching this. So the limits at Circuit just went up to 20K at 11:45. And UCF
getting ready to hammer something.
No, UCF just moved. So I was like, interesting. Like sometimes I'm like that move during the week feels fake, and it's like they're trying to kind of hammer this in, like kind of fake it, like alley-oop it basically to themselves. So sometimes you throw it off the backboard and then come back hard over the top, I guess.
Shout out to the Blue Chicken, longtime viewer here on YouTube. He said he's gonna live bet the hell out of the under. That's the sicko mode line right there. Or the
important note on that. Rutgers lost the punter. So Corsac or whatever is gone. Like there used to be a little bit of a leak when you could when Rutgers got the 3rd and long, you could bet Rutgers in live because the punter was so damn good. It was.
I just like somebody sitting there. They've got 39.5 under pre-flop. The game starts and then they just keep going. Yeah. Just every single break.
There's times when it's like
under, until it hits 31. I'm still going with it.
Unfortunately, I can't do that with this game.
Illinois.
It involves an Illinois team, but yeah, I would be if I didn't live in this state.
All right, Danny, what else do you
want a sicko mode bet? All right, here we go.
Yeah,
I'm going to go. So I think Cade McNamara is a massive upgrade. I think Brian Ferentz is going to put up some fireworks. And when I mean fireworks, I mean over 25 points a game. But you know what? Cade McNamara is a little banged up. We're still waiting word to see if he plays or not. If he does play or if he doesn't play, I think you might see them revert back a little bit to the let's just run the ball a little bit. Let's make sure we get the W against a Utah State squad who's playing Cooper Legas at quarterback of 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions last year. He wasn't exactly lightning in a bottle. I trust Iowa's defense contain that Utah State offense. I'm not going to go for the explosive fireworks for Iowa till later. So give me the under 43.5 on the game.
I feel like that's the thing with McNamara. Like if you want to get to that goal, this is the game where I feel like Iowa needs to put up 40. But I don't think they will.
Bro, you can check it out on our YouTube channel where I am doing projected rest of season needed points in order for Brian Ferentz to keep his job.
Incredible. Tom.
Okay, let's see. Where do I want to go next? Yeah, I'm going to go with a team we saw last week, a team who I think we have to adjust to because they're better than we expected, and a team I talked about at the top of the show I learned some lessons about. Give me UMass plus 35 at Auburn.
I mean, you start with the 35-point lead.
It's true. You do. And this is a team that I think is more athletic, obviously, than what we anticipated and what we have seen from them in recent years. Well, I don't think there's like a chance they're going to go to Auburn and win this game. I do think they will be able to hang around and at least keep this one respectable. And as somebody in the chat mentioned earlier, UMass is 9-0 against the spread in its last 9 games against SEC teams. Auburn's got that road trip to Cal looming next week. I could see Hugh Freeze maybe sitting some people in the fourth quarter of this one, allowing UMass to stick around.
We have a dentist pick on this game.
Oh, dentist agreement?
No, not an agreement.
He's going to take Auburn?
Can we get the sounder on the dentist? We're out of week 0, Chip. I need the drill. I want to see people get pissed off in the chat that we're playing a dentist drill sound out of it.
There it is.
Let's go. All right. No explanation today. So the dentist must actually be making some money and doing some work. Usually I get a little paragraph. So he's going Auburn and UMass over 51.5.
Oh, thinking that Tyson Fomachan and the rest of that offense, which has a whole bunch of former Power 5 players, going to be able to move the ball a little bit against Auburn. That wouldn't be a good sign for Auburn, but we'll see.
He's 0 for 1 on the season.
Dennis has a lot of experience with
Hugh Freeze.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
he's always on the Ole Miss notes and the historical references.
Fun fact: the dentist bought Laquan Treadwell.
That's true.
Like bought him a soda.
No, he bought him. He paid for him.
He was the one that bought the picture, right?
Yes.
He took the picture.
I'm close to tapped out.
So I'm not.
I have 3.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tom.
I've got 4. Do you want me to just go rapid fire here? Because we are kind of running long. I will take Boise State plus 14 against Washington. I'm not entirely sold on the Washington defense. And I do, as I've mentioned, I'm high on Boise this year. So this isn't as much numbers as it is a gut. I do think the Broncos keep this one close.
Let me get on that one on the over on that game, over 58.5. Because you said questions about the defense. Taylor Green's a stud. I think Washington puts up points too. I'm going to take the over 58.5.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. And then let's see, moving on. Give me Purdue minus 3.5 against Fresno. Ryan Walters' first game, the home debut. I don't know how good Fresno is going to be. I don't think they're going to be bad. I think once they get to the Mountain West, they'll be fine. But I do think this is a game that could be a little too much for them. So Purdue minus 3.5. The under 54 in Cal, North Texas. Stone Earl is a god. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think this one is going to be that high scoring. I don't know how much Cal is going to be putting up. And then finally, this is my early season wagon candidate, a team whose rating is based too much on the longer history than the reality of what happened last year when it finally was well coached. Illinois minus 9 against Toledo. Illinois against a MAC team. I don't care if it's one of the better teams in the MAC. Should be nothing less than a double-digit favorite. Brett Bielema, throughout his entire career as a head coach, early in the season in non-conference games, has no bones about just absolutely mashing those teams to dust when he plays them to get everybody feeling good about the season coming. Give me Illinois minus 9, and that wraps up my locks for the week.
I like that. Okay, so Washington first half team total over 19.5.
Yeah,
I like DeBoer to come out scoring quickly. All right, so we got that one. What is the best number I can get on SMU?
Ooh, let's see.
Against Louisiana Tech?
Yeah, I'm seeing 20.
Yeah. Are you going to take Louisiana Tech? Wouldn't it be hilarious parlay?
No, I'm going to lay it with SMU. I think SMU is pretty good. So go ahead and take SMU there and lay the 20.
Oh, I can get you 19.5.
Oh, then I will definitely take 19.5. Thank you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. USC under. I know this is crazy to bet an under with USC. There is a 66.5 out there. USC under 66.5 to me just feels ridiculous. Are they really? What's this going to be like? 55-14 and I lose? Clip this just in case, obviously, for Saturday night. That's entirely possible. That it goes like this.
Nevada can score 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The last one, Kentucky minus 13.5 first half. I don't really want to deal with the concession score possibility here from Ball State, because Ball State is one of these teams. You kind of got to pay attention to your G5 teams, like who tries to win the game and just who just doesn't want to get embarrassed and have their staff be embarrassed. Ball State tries to win, but first half, I'm going to lay the 13.5 with Kentucky.
I almost joined you on that USC-Nevada under. It was cut, like the last cut from the card before the show.
This is a play I got on early in the week. If you are a subscriber to Sportsline or you watch the 6 p.m. hour on CBS Sports HQ, which if you're not, what are you even doing? Got it in. Hasn't been any movement since then, but it's an official play, so I need to stand by it, say it with my chest. Here's the principle. The Baylor defense fell apart last year, and Dave Aranda was not happy about it at all. In fact, ended up moving on from a coach that he had a long relationship with, and Ron Roberts goes and makes a change at defensive coordinator, a little bit of a change in scheme as well. It's a Baylor defense that needs to step up in a big way. They're going up against Texas State, which is going to be running wide splits, veer and shoot, trying to get everything vertical. Dave Aranda talking about it this week seems like they've got, obviously every time Dave Aranda talks scheme, you feel like he's got a full grasp of it. I think it's a unique challenge. I think that they don't want to let this thing get sideways. And I think that Baylor's offense over the course of 4 quarters is going to be able to stand up. So with Baylor eyeing a rejuvenation on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to go 27.5 with the Bears.
I don't hate that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking to keeping my plays on the graphic that we agreed to do in the preseason.
All right. But before we hit the money line sprinkles, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have on the board so far. Let's see. Add it to the stream. There we go. Thank you, Jordan. I couldn't add it. All right, Bud. Deep breath. TCU minus 20.5. NC State minus 14.5. Alabama minus 39. LSU, Florida State over 55.5. Florida State plus 3. Ohio State, Indiana under 59.5. Florida State team total over 27.5. Tennessee minus 27.5. Bowling Green, Liberty under 50. Washington first half team total over 19.5. SMU plus 19.5. Chip is on. TCU minus 20.5. Alabama minus 39. Colorado State plus 11. LSU at Florida State over 55.5. Wyoming plus 14.5. NC State team total over 29.5. Ohio State minus 30. And also Baylor minus 27.5. Danny's got TCU minus 20.5, NC State minus 14.5, Florida State plus 3, North Carolina minus 2.5, Florida, Utah under 44, Virginia, Tennessee over 55.5, Utah State, Iowa under 43.5, Boise State, Washington over 58.5. Tom is on. Boise State plus 14, TCU minus 20.5, NC State minus 14.5, Colorado State plus 11, Texas Tech minus 14, LSU minus 2.5, South Carolina plus 2.5, UMass plus 35, Northwestern, Rutgers, game of the week, under 39.5, Purdue minus 3.5, Cal-North Texas under 54, and Illinois minus 9. Before we hit the cha-ching, no Penn State, West Virginia picks. Very interesting. I almost talked myself into West Virginia plus 20.5, but I don't want to.
We had to pick it the other day. I took it because we had to pick the game, but I didn't love it.
Same.
Yeah, I had the under too. I thought it could get ugly.
I'm just not sure what to do because, I think West Virginia is a team who the bottom can fall out on if things go poorly to start. Neil Brown gets fired, but I also think West Virginia at the beginning of the team is going to come out playing well because it's not a terrible team right now. It could be a terrible team by November, though.
Right. I think that they will come out motivated from being told they stink all season. Mm-hmm. It's all off season. And I think they're going to put up a good fight, but. I don't know. We'll see closer to game time. If that thing pops to 21 or 21.5, that could change my mind. But at 20.5, no, thank you. I've got too much respect for the law firm of Singleton and Allen, that backfield. Oh, sorry, Tom. The law firm is an Illinois thing. Brett Bielema has. Thank you. Yeah, Brett Bielema has all the copyrights on any law firm. All right, money line sprinkles. Ting, ting. So, yes.
People are pointing out the Washington team total first half is 17.5 at DraftKings. we're trying to give out stuff that's like not crazy juiced, and there's very little chance that the number 18 comes into play in the first half. So I would not like. Sometimes you want to take the best number, sometimes but just pricing that out in my head, I would rather play the 19.5 than the 17.5 at reduced juice. Like, don't lay extra juice to get 17.5 at DK.
Also, no UTSA Houston bets. I mean, it's a coin flip of a game. I don't have a lot of confidence, but I will say that those Houston Oiler-inspired uniforms that dropped on Thursday morning, game changers. Adjust the point spread by 2 points in your local Chipolytics books because that thing is sick. All right, moneyline sprinkles last week. Danny, the only one who takes a win with Jacksonville State. Ohio for Bud, Chip, and Tom. And as we mentioned earlier, a travesty of a result for the Bobcats. Danny, you've got the honors on the tee box. What's the money line sprinkle?
I have 3. Give me Florida State. Win the game outright.
Okay.
Give me. I was looking for a home dog around a touchdown, underdog. Give me Georgia Tech playing against Louisville. I like Louisville this season, but I don't think it's crazy to think that Brent Key could have his team fired up. Hangs King, the quarterback, run around, athletic QB. I think you'll see an atmosphere there. Friday night game. Louisville might have some kinks to iron out. Give me Georgia Tech. I think I can get that at plus 240. And then one more. South Alabama goes to Tulane. Tulane is everybody loves with Tulane. Michael Pratt back. They're hot. South Alabama was 10-3. Kane Womack last year. Sunbelt's got some athletes in it too. Everybody's just handing Tulane that American Conference title. They have Ole Miss week 2. It is a massive look-ahead game for them. Again, week 1, they'll probably be geared up. ESPNU, 8 o'clock, primetime. But give me South Alabama, plus 210.
220 I can get you.
Ooh, even better, 220.
You were looking for that underdog at home of about a touchdown. This is let's do the wouldn't it be hilarious principle. North Texas plus 205. So we will go with the mean green, getting it done against Cal. This one is not of a touchdown. We'll go Hawaii plus 136. And of course, that is the wouldn't it be hilarious of Cal and Stanford get added to the ACC and immediately go and lose on the road to non-conference opponents. Hawaii. And then finally, let's go. Why not? Colorado State plus 330. Was confident enough, Adam. This is a true sprinkle. Let's go Rams. Get it done.
I was able to get you 225 on North Texas, by the way.
Cool.
What? Go ahead.
No, I knew South Alabama's number right as soon as Danny said it because I am also on South Alabama plus 220 for a lot of the same reasons Danny mentioned. And then my only other money line sprinkle, Chip, you mentioned earlier in the show when we were doing the weeknight games, you're like, wow, I can't believe nobody's talking about Minnesota and Nebraska. Well, I have a play on Minnesota and Nebraska plus 240.
I like it.
The thing is, we changed a lot of things around here. We made it so that everything makes sense, and instead of it doesn't make sense. And so we were really trying hard to improve the morale and build the culture and set a foundation.
I'm just very interested in seeing the impact of a competent coaching staff on that team. How do you factor that into the spread?
I think Bud's asking you how you factor Marcus Satterfield as a confident coach. Is what those eyes say.
I mean,
all right, Bud. What are the sprinkles?
I just feel like all these dogs have been shoved so hard this week because people reacting to this clock rule that there's not much out there for me. Akron is what I will go with. Akron plus, I think plus 330 is the best I can get there. So I will take it. Look, Temple was a MAC team once upon a time. Joe Moorhead, second year at Akron. Are we sure Temple should be like 80% to win this thing? 75% to win this thing? Like, I know they got Kurt Warner's kid. He's a good player. But
Akron's got DJ Irons.
Right.
Let's go.
Like,
when's the last time you seen a quarterback wear number 0? Huh?
Yeah.
You know how much confidence it takes?
Can we bet first half money lines?
No.
In sprinkles?
No.
Okay. All right. Then that's all I got.
Okay. All right. So the money line sprinkles for the group, Bud is on Akron plus 330. I've got North Texas plus 225, Hawaii plus 143, and Colorado State plus 330. Danny's got Florida State plus 120, Georgia Tech plus 240, South Alabama plus 220, and Tom is on South Alabama plus 220, Nebraska plus 240. Woo! All right. So, yes, 75 minutes. But that's not horrible. I felt like we adjusted once we realized we were getting a little deep into it. And no, we haven't lost our audience. We still have the same huge live audience. And I hope all of you have subscribed and liked this video. And if you're listening to this on demand, please just come over, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notifications so that you can know whenever we go live. The next time we will be live, approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday night. Week 1 instant reaction podcast. So make sure that you come and hang out for that. And you can follow him on Twitter at Danny Cannell. You can follow him at Tom Fernelli. You can follow him at Bud Elliott 3. You can follow me at Chip_Patterson. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.